the food with the bear was excellent. I, in particular, like the sushi, the crab with the Heineken original in the beginning. That went very well together. I enjoyed that.
And that's all we have for today's eLive. I'm Lavinia Beckford, and I do hope to see you on the next one.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Counting is well advanced in the 4 by-elections contested in Jamaica on this Friday in Morant Bay in St. Thomas, Annan Town in Clarendon, in Northwest St. Andrew, and of course in South Trelawny. And we have an update on what happened in the field in both races, well, in all 4 races, from our reporters who were on the ground today. And I have the added treat of an update as recently as 10 minutes ago from the count in Morant Bay. You don't want to miss it. Stay with me right here on Lead Story, CVM TV. Let's start the show. Welcome to Lead Story on CVM TV on this Friday. I don't know about many people, but elections excite me. It's the most exciting period in the news cycle, and I know some people can't wait for it to be over. I really love the adrenaline, and I'm feeling very much up for it now, even though I'm just a person working in the media and not one of the combatants. I wouldn't be one of the combatants. I don't know how politicians do it, because to have your fate on a knife's edge, depending on what people go behind a booth to do, rather daunting indeed. Did I say my name is George Davis? Good evening again, and thank you for joining me. I am in service to you as your personal journalist. Now, here we go. Before I get to my guests, or a very good reporters here at CVM TV, Ramon Gordon is among the pick of the litter here at CVM TV. Before I bring him in, an update as of 6:20 p.m. Now it's now 6:32, so this is an update as recent as 12 minutes ago. Morant Bay Division in the St. Thomas Parish Council, 27 of 39 boxes counted, so the race can change. But when 27 of 39 boxes were counted in Morant Bay up to 6:20 p.m., the PNP's Rosemary Shaw had polled 1,263 votes. The JLP's Winston Downey, 1,344. So Winston Downey and the JLP were leading by 81 votes in Morant Bay by as recently as 6:20, with 27 or 39 boxes counted up to that point. A couple more boxes would have been gone through between 6:20 and now, so it would, of course, contribute to the overall picture. But with, 12 of 39 boxes left, the JLP had a lead of 81. I can tell you also that in Annan Town, the EOJ says 84% of the votes have been counted. 84% of votes counted in Annan Town. In Clarendon, the EOJ says the PNP is ahead in Annan Town. They haven't given a figure, the EOJ, but with only 16% of votes left to be counted, it says the PNP have a lead in Annan Town. I can also tell you that in South Trelawny, Labourites, hold on to your pearls and your chairs, because the independent candidate in South Trelawny, Lloyd Gillings, is overperforming by far. The most recent count at hand shows the independent candidate Lloyd Gillings in South Trelawny, 207 votes. The JLP's Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, 292. So she was leading him by 85 votes up to the most recent count produced about 6:30, about 6:15 thereabouts, 74 votes ahead, 84 votes ahead. But the picture is clear that Lloyd Gillings is performing better than expected in that particular seat. I can tell you that 69.2% of votes have been counted in Morant Bay, and affirming that the JLP is ahead, in Morant Bay with 69.2% of votes counted. So that's the update we can give you. As the picture changes, before the show gets older, or before the show is done for the evening, I'll be able to give you another count. let's take the quick break, and when we come back, we can bring in Ramon undisturbed. So this is Lead Story here on CVM TV, giving you a preview, well, giving you a taste, rather, of where the counting is in the 4 by-elections contested today. Northwest St. Andrew, where we'll hear from Britannia, who was out in the field. Ramon will tell us about Morant Bay. He was out in the field. We'll hear from Adrian, who was in Annan Town, Clarendon, and, of course, the big race in South Trelawny. Well, many people thought it wouldn't have been a big race. They expected Marisa Darimpa-Philibert to win by a city block, but the independent candidate, Lloyd Gillings, a member of the PNP, is holding on to her shirt, and it's threatening to be a very close contest out there. Break time, back with more after these.
Join the JPS Foundation at the Climate Action Conference and Expo on November 30 at the Chinese Benevolent Association, hosted by CJ Sparks and Paula Ann Porter-Jones. Explore Sustainability City, meet our Power Up Energy Club Innovation Challenge finalists, and check out career options at the Career Corner. Test drive electric cars and dive into cutting-edge tech. Plus, our immersive teaching tunnel will show you how you can take action for a sustainable future. Follow us on IG and Facebook at JPS Foundation to learn more.
All roads lead to the National Arena Sunday, November 24, 10 a.m. for the 81st Annual Conference of the Jamaica Labour Party. Come here, Prime Minister and Party Leader, Dr. the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, stand on a record of performance to deliver on the mission of prosperity for all Jamaicans. Stronger message from the stronger team. Here, heavyweights Bobby Montague, Dr. Horace Chang, Dr. Chris Tupton, Darrell Vaz, Kamina Johnson-Smith, Floyd Green, youth ambassadors and other champions. Bank to bank, JLP River, come down for the 81st Annual Conference, Sunday, November 24, 10 a.m. Jam-packed to National Arena. Green shirts, belts, flags, check. Stronger leader, stronger party, stronger performance, stronger team, fully active. See you at conference.
Voted in 4 by-elections today, and the polls closed at 5, counting well underway in Annan Town, almost 90% complete. The vote count in Morant Bay in St. Thomas, almost 70% complete by our last report. Northwest St. Andrew also well advanced, as well as South Trelawny. Ramon Gordon is in studio with me. Ramon, good evening.
Good evening, George. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. Take the viewers into the space that you worked earlier today.
You set the framework earlier. We're in the Morant Bay division. There are 2 contenders for the JLP. It's Winston Downey. He's a political neophyte. He's a newcomer. He's an educator. We spoke with him on November 6th, and he said he was unafraid to go up against the PNP's more experienced challenger. She is Rose Marie Shaw. We got to the location, like I said, earlier than usual, and we were hoping it would be a controversy-free day. It wasn't a controversy-free day. We got a letter from the People's National Party as soon as we got on location, claiming some malfeasance. What is this malfeasance, you might ask? In some of the areas where elections are happening now, there are 4, as you said earlier, there were threats, voter intimidation, and there were voter buying. We spoke with the candidates there. First, let me go back. We spoke with MP Darrell Vaz. He is JLP treasurer, I think he is. And he said it's PNP tactics. Nothing no go, so there's no evidence to support it. But then we spoke with residents on the ground, and they showed us what they call real concrete evidence to prove these charges are true. Some persons said they got drums, some persons got cash. So there were some things that were going on that were untoward. And that's what colored the day, George.
So, and you discovered that in the morning session when you landed?
In the morning session when we landed.
All right. As the day wore on, well, give the viewers a sense of how intense or not the voting was. Was there a period in the day when there were many people lined up at the various polling divisions, or was it just trickle for the time you were there?
There was always a crowd there for both the JLP and the PNP, but as for voters, there was a steady trickle. It wasn't a stream, just a trickle. Voter turnout, like I said, it isn't great across the four areas.
Yes.
But there in particular, even Darrell Vaz was saying that the PNP had bussed in some of their supporters. So there was a lot of people on the ground, but as for voters, so.
And you would have gotten close to the people to ask them, you know, what it is that would have motivated them to make the decision that they would ultimately make at the ballot? What were people telling you as the issues that would drive them to vote a certain way today?
Honestly, George, it wasn't about the issues, it was more about the parties.
Aye.
You're talking to these people, it's not support for, they're complaining about the roads for sure, and they're complaining about the access to water, but some of them didn't even know the names of the candidates. I went up to some of the persons asking them, how is your candidate? Is he here? And I was like, Mr. Downey. Who names so? Mr. Shaw, who names so? So it's more of a support for party than it is for candidate, and I think that's what we've seen over the years anyways.
Yes. The report from the EOJ, Ramon, is that voter turnout in Morant Bay was about 13%. 13%. Does that accord with what you saw as you spent the day out there?
Well, that sounds kind of generous, but I guess perhaps. Like I said, there were a lot of persons on location, a lot of vibes, a lot of good music. Actually, a lot of JLP and PNP supporters were vibing together.
Yes.
But representatives said it to me, a lot of these people are not here to vote. They can't vote.
Yes. So effectively what you're saying, slow day, trickle to go into the polling stations, and based on what the residents say, the two major political parties bringing in outside support to create an atmosphere around the day's events.
I guess that's the most important thing, building the atmosphere. We're up on the JLP's 74th annual conference. Yeah. So, of course, they're trying to shore up the support. 75.
Yes.
So, of course, they're trying to galvanize the base and shore up support.
Yes.
And the PNP is trying to do the same because they want to show that they have a ball in this race.
Absolutely. So, Raman, thank you very much as usual.
Sure.
All the best, man. Top man. Raman Gorin there talking to us about his experience in Morant Bay. So, let me see my results tracker. Very unofficial, but giving you numbers as they come from the EOJ, with 8 of 25 boxes. Well, at the point where 8 of 25 boxes were counted in Ainon Town, the JLP had 430, the PNP had 356. But of course, the number would have advanced beyond that point significantly. And the EOJ website, well, I tell you what. All right, here we go now. Giving you some boxes. I'm going to give you PD by PD, well, box by box. This is box by box in South Trelawny. So work with me now. Box number 29 in South Trelawny. Remember, South Trelawny, the race is between Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert, Jamaica Labour Party, and Lloyd Gillings. Lloyd Gillings was a JLP councillor for the Albert Town Division, but he fell out with the JLP, left the JLP, and switched to the PNP. He's contested local government elections for the PNP. He's contested parliamentary elections for the PNP. He's been unsuccessful when running for the PNP. He said he entered this race as an independent candidate, even though he remains a card-carrying and dues-paying member of the PNP. He says he's still running as an independent. So this race between him and Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert in South Trelawny. Box 29, JLP 65, Independent 6. Box 89, JLP 22, Independent 5. Box 90, JLP 16, Independent 13. Box 91, JLP 10, Independent 16. Box 62, JLP 16, Independent 7. Box 63, JLP 13, Independent 18. Box 65, JLP 29, Independent 36. Box 64, JLP 53, Independent 51. Box 39, JLP 42, Independent 11. Box 38, JLP 59, Independent 15. Box 41, JLP 56, Independent 5. Box 42, JLP 62, Independent, Independent 12, and box 82, JLP 44, Independent 3. Now, you wouldn't have been able to tally all of these as I went through the numbers, but what I'm showing you by giving you these numbers is how well the independent candidate, who effectively is a PNP person running as independent, so you'd have expected a lot of the PNP support to come for him, and you could slice it and dice it any way you like. That's the reality. This is an independent candidate in name only, because he says he's a card-carrying, dues-paying member of the PNP still active in the party. So this goes to show you how, box by box, this individual, Lloyd Gillings, is performing. Nobody expected the numbers in some of these boxes to be so close, or even for Lloyd Gillings to win some of these boxes. But he is overperforming based on where the numbers are now. And that is the crucial thing to consider. South Trelawny, the race is far closer than people would have wagered. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Britannia, who was patrolling Northwest St. Andrew as Dwayne Smith, the JLP's candidate, ran against Carl Marshall, another card-carrying, dues-paying member of the PNP who's running as an independent, who ran as an independent against Dwayne Smith in Northwest St. Andrew earlier today.
You know all the people in your business.
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
This week on Central Expressions.
Today we're out here in Mother Nature. We're at the Gulfview Hotel hosting our first annual marriage maneuvers through Kingdom Principles.
And today at the Black River Film Festival, even though it's so hot, it was good, guys.
And today we'll talk about ownership of land.
Tune in to Central Expressions on CVM TV Sundays at 3 p.m. Repeat Fridays at 9 a.m.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
Back with us on Lead Story, back with us just in time for me to give you some numbers here. Getting a report of a final count in the Ainantown division in Clarendon. The Ainantown division contested by the JLP's Suzette Barton and the PNP's Delroy Dawson. Getting a final count from Ainantown, 25 of 25 boxes counted. And my information is that Ainantown, 25 of 25 boxes, the PNP has won by 54 votes. My preliminary information shows the PNP's Delroy Dawson with 1,646 votes. 1,646 votes to Suzette Barton's 1,592. That's a difference of 54, 8 and 46, 48 and 6, 14, yes. So a difference of 54 votes. So Suzette Barton falling short for the JLP, the PNP's Delroy Dawson, who was beaten in the February 2024 local government elections by Marjorie Stewart for the JLP, who subsequently passed away, occasioning this by-election, and that's what caused this by-election to happen. He has turned the tables on Suzette Barton, and he has taken the seat for the PNP. That's what my information is telling me about 25 of 25 boxes counted. That's very preliminary. It could change, but preliminarily, that's what I'm getting. I had to give it to you because I feel confident in the source. If it's wrong, I'll own it, me alone, but that's what I'm getting at this time, all right? We're waiting to be joined by Britannia, who will tell us what happened in Northwest St. Andrew today, and I'm looking at the EOJ's website. Clarendon, and it does suggest 1646 to 1592. It does suggest that the information is indeed correct does suggest that the information is indeed correct, and Anon Town in Clarendon chalked that one up for the PNP. Remember, the PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, told us on Lead Story here last evening that the party would have won both of the local government divisions. He was supremely confident of victory in Anon Town and of victory in Morant Bay. Well, he can chalk off 50% of the job done because Anon Town, according to the EOJ website, I'm looking at the screenshot here, 1,646 votes for the PNP's Dawson, and 1,592 for the JLP's Barton. So 54 the difference between the candidates. The PNP winning Anon Town. Britannia joins me on set. Good evening.
Good evening, George.
All right. Tell our viewers what happened in Northwest St. Andrew today.
Well, it was a completely different look from nomination day. Remember, I was here on nomination day and I told you the excitement. That was not the case today. We visited 5 different polling stations and we saw like 2 different persons coming in and trickling. But the highlight was when Mr. Smith showed up with his parents. So they accompanied him. He accompanied them to vote at their polling station, and it was kind of a little emotional moment. You know, the senior Smith, he reflected on his time and what this means now that his son is competing for the constituency that he ran for some time.
An honorable man, Derek Smith, the former Minister of National Security, who ill health caused him to end his parliamentary stint early, and the Smiths, the husband and wife, are very much loyal to the politics, and they are respected across the political divide, and many people say that Dwayne Smith benefits from the goodwill that his father would have built up over time. I had cause to be in the constituency to Britannia, round about 11:30 thereabouts. I accompanied some people to cast their vote at Meadowbrook High School. That's the Chancery Hall division. Of course, I don't have a vote in Northwest St. Andrew, I'm elsewhere. But it was very low key to the point that some of the outdoor agents I saw were actually sleeping. And I said, well, I wonder what Britannia will report over the course of the day if it will be so slow that people are just snoozing around. That's what you saw?
Yes, and even with the security forces. I visited one station when the security forces, they were just sitting back there, like there was no movement really except for the workers.
Did you manage to go to Pembroke Hall? Because I understand from my information that the Prime Minister may have been in Pembroke Hall earlier today. So you did make it there. Okay. Was there any point in the day as you covered that you saw a flurry of voting activities? Because I want to give my viewers a sense of whether or not when polls opened or close to the closure of polls that people started coming in. Was there any point during the day when people came out in their numbers?
That's not what I saw at all.
As is to be expected, given the... Did you see Mr. Marshall today, the independent candidate, Carl Marshall?
No, I did not see Mr. Marshall.
You did not see Mr. Marshall. Well, there you go. Well, Britannia, it's your luck that you drew the snooze fest of a by-election seat, but it just gives you more experience for the next time you are sent to somewhere where the competition is white hot. Thank you. All right, Britannia there was in Northwest St. Andrew, and she's reporting that the activities were very, very much muted. There is some more information coming to hand. Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you. Morant Bay. All right. Okay, still waiting on the final count to come. Looking at numbers from the EOJ's board inside the Anon Town division, and just looking at the number of ballots for Barton and looking at how it's divided between Barton and Dawson, and getting the information real time as it comes. In St. Thomas, Morant Bay, I'm looking at Morant Bay is showing me the JLP 1,433 votes, the PNP 1,383. So in Morant Bay, with 74.4% of votes counted, the JLP was leading the PNP 1383, the JLP 1433. So that's a difference of 50. The JLP 50 ahead of the PNP in in Morant Bay, to be precise. I'm looking at, the Anon Town division, as I told you, declared the PNP winning Anon Town, and I'm getting, the official vote count shows that Delroy Dawson got 50.8% of votes in Anon Town, and Suzette Barton got 49.2%. So just confirming that, but the race is tightening up tightening up the race is in Morant Bay between Rosie Shaw and Winston Downey. Only 50 votes separated them in the information that was produced when 74.4% of votes were counted. So that's where we are. Enon Town settled. PNP have that in the bag. We're waiting on the picture to emerge where Morant Bay is concerned. 6:53, still have time to give you a final count, I hope. So looking at St. Andrew Northwest St. Andrew, Dwayne Smith polled 1,863 votes. 1,863 votes for Dwayne Smith in Northwest St. Andrew. Carl Marshall, he polled 111 votes. No votes for Rohan Banks, who of course withdrew from the race. So Carl Marshall, the independent candidate, 111 votes. Dwayne Smith, 1,863 votes. It's official, 111 of 111 boxes. So no surprise there. Northwest St. Andrew goes to the JLP. And I'm just trying to go through before we get Adrian's comments on. And just to make sure that we have everything in order for you. In South Trelawny, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, 84 of 96 boxes counted. Dalrymple Philibert, 3,751 votes. Lloyd Gillings, 1,344. So as expected, a huge gap has now opened between Dalrymple Philibert and Lloyd Gillings. Moses' early showing would have sent ripples through the JLP camp, but as the votes kept going, he started to fall further behind, and now where 84 of 96 boxes were counted, he was more than 2,000 votes away. So that race is pretty much that. So that's a done deal. The JLP winning both Northwest St. Andrew, you can call it, and South Trelawny. And all eyes are now on Morant Bay. And let me tell you, the PNP have swung it around in Morant Bay. Yeah, the PNP have swung it around in Morant Bay. 37% of votes counted. So the PNP have swung it around. So they've won both of them. So Dayton Campbell was right. 2,096 votes to Rosie Shaw in Morant Bay. 2,096 votes. The JLP's Winston Downing, 1,978. So 2,096 to 1,978. The PNP taking the Morant Bay division and taking it rather decisively. So that would be a margin, 78, 22, 96. That would be 128 votes. Yeah, the PNP winning decisively in Morant Bay. So Dayton Campbell was right, 2-0 to the PNP in the local government races, and the JLP, of course, taking the parliamentary seats where the PNP did not field an official candidate. Adrian, wow, that's a mouthful. You're with me now. Where were you today and what you saw?
All right, so I was in the Enon Town division in Clarendon. It was a quite festive environment. Festive, of course, because the supporters are out. Not all the PDs had the big numbers, yes, right? We're talking about maybe like Trout Hall and Park Hall. But then we went up to James Hill now, which is next in line. Supporters left, right, and center for both sides. I wouldn't say that any had more supporters than the other, yes, right? Also, the representatives from the parties, they were there. Joel Williams, he's the mayor of Maypen. Yeah. Cian Barnes, well, the leader of the opposition was there. I don't want to spend the time talking about that, but there was tremendous support from the party themselves. And of course, the councillors themselves we know that the PNP has taken Enon Town. Yes. So that would be Delroy Dawson, yes, who is now the councillor. Yes. And then now, that leaves it 11-11. Yes. So big things right to say? Yeah, it's a very good point, Adrian, to say that there's no deadlock in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, and we'll have to consult the legislation to see what happens in a case where it is deadlocked and there is no independent candidate in the division. But that's it. That's our time. I mean, we've given it to you. Any other news organization on TV coming with the details now will be giving you stale information because you've got it fresh right here on CVM TV. Enon Town and Morant Bay going to the PNP and the JLP running away with the
Mother Nature. We're at the Gulfview Hotel hosting our first annual marriage maneuvers through Kingdom Principles.
And today at the Black River Film Festival, even though it's so hot, it was good, guys.
And today we'll talk about ownership of land.
Tune in to Central Expressions on CVM TV Sundays at 3 p.m. Repeat Fridays at 9 a.m.
Small business owners and independent contractors get affordable insurance with Sagicor Pro Shield. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock.
Fraud allegations fly between parties in St. Thomas by-elections. Political legacy in play in South Trelawny, despite low voter turnout. And at the top of the hour, the Director of Elections joins us live with an assessment of today's by-elections. Also, savor our Friday feature, Traditional Flavors with Curlin Brown. While in sports, Windies rally against Bangladesh in first test.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Friday, November 22, 2024. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Curlin Brown. Well, tensions ran high in parts of St. Thomas as by-elections unfolded amid allegations of fraud and voter intimidation. From accusations against both political parties to heated exchanges outside polling stations, the day was anything but quiet. CVM's Ramon Gordon was on the ground in Morant Bay.
It's a very hot day here in the Morant Bay division, but let me tell you that certainly hasn't killed the excitement or anticipation two candidates have inspired. For the Jamaica Labour Party, their pick is an educator. His name is Winston Downey. And for the People's National Party, it's a more experienced pick. Her name is Rosemary Shaw. But all of that was shrouded momentarily this morning amid reports of some malfeasance. The People's National Party, they sent a letter to the Jamaica Constabulary Force claiming to have received reports of voter buying and intimidation. I spoke with a senior member of the Jamaica Labour Party this morning who vehemently denied those charges.
That is the typical PNP. All about the noise with no substance or no evidence.
So no evidence of voter buying?
That strategy is a redundant strategy.
However, reports on the ground sharply countered the MP's claims, with bombshell accusations implicating both parties in illicit acts.
Well, so far for the PMPs, some of them get buyouts, and a lot of them want money to vote.
Are you saying that the PNP got money?
Who don't get money and they want money to vote.
Yesterday they came up here with black cement and some pipes.
Who came up here with the black cement and pipe?
The Jamaica Labour Party. And then when we went to some of the houses, one of the lady took us around the back and showed us our material them that they gave to her and said she did like Mr. Washi because he used to take care of them, but him dead and gone, and now them I get from that side, so them have to vote for them.
At the Morant Bay Primary School, tempers flared momentarily as supporters from one political party allegedly breached a perimeter around the school, much to the chagrin of the other side. Also of concern were threats of physical violence.
Them even intimidate us by telling us that when you come up here and you come and work, we'll kill you now and show you how we run things. That is not right. Them type of politics they done long time.
Who said that to you?
The Jamaica Labour Party members.
We caught up with the JLP's pick, educator Winston Downey, a short while after he cast his vote at the Morant Bay Primary School. He says he's unaware of any illegality on the campaign trail.
Well, I cannot say anything to those claims. Honestly, I cannot say anything to those claims.
He was, however, eager to speak to the electorate.
And I remember talking to you on November 6th, and you said you were out galvanizing the base, talking to the people on the ground. Do you think that organizing paid off today at the polls?
It will. Prosperity is here. Morant Bay is not the forgotten parish anymore.
If you're unsuccessful, will the buck stop here, or will you continue on?
No. First thing, I would have told people thanks.
We missed the PNP's Rosemary Shaw at the polls, but caught up with her supporters at Lyson Primary.
Rosemary, she knows St. Thomas. She is with the people
Try to reach out and touch everybody by looking after them and taking care of them. She's the leader.
Amid the day's events, we also captured a special moment. An older voter still making the effort to cast a vote even amid claims of fraud.
Well, we need changes in, everything.
And you're confident in the two choices you have?
Yeah.
You must be confident in at least one.
One.
All right. Go cast your vote. Thank you for chatting with us.
You're welcome.
Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections, CAFE, confirmed 2 incidents of voter intimidation and disruption in the Annan Town division during today's by-elections. The authorities have responded to those incidents. Law enforcement has yet to substantiate the claims in Morant Bay, but investigations are underway. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
While in contrast, voter turnout was noticeably slow in the northwestern St Andrew constituency during the highly anticipated by-election. Despite that, the JLP's candidate, Dwayne Smith, and his family were optimistic. Britannia Witter reports.
From a lively and entertainment-filled nomination day to this, empty polling stations with barely any voters trickling in to cast their votes. That was the scene throughout the Northwest St Andrew constituency today as the country held 4 by-elections across 2 constituencies and 2 electoral divisions. But that did not seem to hinder the spirit of this man, 3-time councillor for the Chancery Hall division, Dwayne Smith. Smith accompanied his parents to the Meadowbrook Preparatory School to place their votes. His father and former Member of Parliament for the constituency for 3 decades, Derek Smith, described the moment as one rich with legacy.
This morning, Dwayne is being elected, I'm sure, to represent a constituency that has served for over 3 decades. It's a sort of a legacy.
Seemingly hopeful and reminiscent, he gave his son some advice.
Service, representation. Never, ever lose focus of why the people voted for you. Whether it's 10% or 90%. The fact is that you will be elected to represent Northwest St Andrew, and you're expected to do that to the best of your ability, not just for the...
Meanwhile, Smith the Younger reiterated his intention to make roads his top priority if elected to serve the constituency.
Road infrastructure. We have some very bad roads across the constituency, and I'm going to be aggressive with representation on fixing those roads. Luckily and fortunately for us, we have the Spark program coming up, the $45 billion road program, which I think will go a far way in fixing some of the roads in Northwest St Andrew. Only a program of that magnitude.
Carl Marshall and Rohan Banks were also expected to contest the seat as independent candidates. However, Rohan Banks reportedly withdrew his bid on Wednesday, a move which the Electoral Office of Jamaica said was ill-considered based on the rules of the electoral process. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
Now, for some residents in Northwest St Andrew, they made it known they came out to only observe the day's activities, that is. They did not hold back, though, on sharing their views on the country's current political landscape. Let's go back to Britannia Witter.
The People's National Party did not field a candidate to contest the Northwest St Andrews seat, but that did not stop comrades and supporters of independent candidates from expressing their views as they stood watch at a section of the constituency decorated in PNP colours. One skeptical resident had this to say.
Chicken a fly far from rose. I think so the father, so will be the son.
The man alleges that a former Member of Parliament did not advance the improvement of residents despite serving the constituency for some time.
The former MP, Derek Smith, 30 years they have it for. Where do? Them come there and make big presentation up at the park to your right. So it's going to be a flowers park. Go up there and look. It's a forest.
Meanwhile, a supporter of Smith declared that no one else could get his vote.
That's my counter. I've been voting for all along and read the state. I couldn't have given him up. I'll give my vote to Dwayne Smith.
Britannia Wuto, CVM News.
Do stay with us. We have lots more to come here on CVM News at 7. Do stay with us.
Win a barrel of things, valued at over $400,000 with Digicel. When you gift your loved ones a 7-day plan for just $1,100 in My Digicel, share one more gift, one more moment, one more smile. Digicel, better connected this Christmas.
This week on Central Expressions.
Today we're out here in Mother Nature. We're at the Gulfview Hotel hosting our first annual marriage maneuvers through Kingdom Principles.
And today at the Black River Film Festival, even though it's so hot, it was good, guys.
And today we'll talk about ownership of land.
Tune in to Central Expressions on CVM TV Sundays at 3 p.m. Repeat Fridays at
Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us. In South Trelawny, there was an 18.25% voter turnout, with residents casting their ballots for either the JLP's Marissa Dalrymple Philibert or the independent candidate Lloyd Gillings. The PNP decided not to contest. Now, Labour Party supporters sang high praises for their beloved Mama D. As for Gillings, who lost in 2020, he had his own song. He was certain that he could bring a change to the constituency. Courtney Lewis tells us more.
It was a slow but peaceful show of support at the Southern Trelawny polls for today's by-election, as supporters of both the Jamaica Labour Party and a confident Lloyd Mozzie Gillings, the independent candidate, went out to cast their ballots.
I'm fully confident that I will take this seat home safely.
So him have the plan for the people then, and I see him start to do what him have to do already. Walk out in the road them and if he examine the road them, going to clean up and going to do. Him is the grassroots man who look out for the farmer, everyone around.
Gillings remained undeterred by his 2020 general election loss to Dalrymple Philibert, who received 7,109 votes against his 3,025.
In my view, she's not qualified to sit at this time. She has several issues that persons asking questions, and we cannot get any answers. So I believe she should step aside and she should wait until even the court case finish. You know, I think it's unfair to South Trelawny for her to just walk out of the seat and walk back in.
And his focus is infrastructure should he take home the victory.
Well, as you can see, South Trelawny is without water from ever since, before I was born. So I will do the water project first thing. And as you can look on our roads, it's terrible.
But Labour Party supporters are instead singing Mama D's tune.
One Mama D, Labour Party straight, not independent round here.
You look out for everybody. As you should have said, we are not just say small dog of voting, we are family. We look to her as we mama. Here we call her mama.
South Trelawny belongs to Jamaica Labour Party. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, she won South Trelawny.
And the polls will give the verdict on that. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
With over 75,000 registered voters expected to have cast their ballots as political commentators weighed in, attention turned to key divisions and the potential implications for future elections. Shante McNeil reports.
Over 75,000 Jamaicans were eligible to vote in today's by-elections, which concluded at 5 p.m. Political commentators weighed in earlier, analyzing the implications of the four contests. Commentator Damien Garden noted that while he does not expect the results to significantly impact the upcoming general elections, he is closely watching the In and Town division.
I am, however, looking at In and Town division because currently what the outcome may affect about the control of the Clarendon Parish Council. So currently the Jamaica Labour Party controls 12 divisions and the People's National Party controls 10 divisions. If the People's National Party were to win the In and Town division, that will mean that the control of the divisions would be evenly divided between two political parties. That were to happen, the popular vote may be used to determine which of the two political party controls the Clarendon Parish Council. So I'm looking at that. I think that is the most interesting race of the day.
He emphasized that addressing quality of life issues could influence voter behavior heading into next year's election.
It's the extent to which, voters feel that the issues that directly impact the quality of their lives are being addressed by the political party, the ruling party, and the extent to which the opposition party has shown a willingness or a plan of action to address those issues that directly impact the quality of life. People are thinking about, for example, the state of the road. That is an urgent concern of voters. That's a bread and butter day-to-day issue that people have to grapple with. People are talking about the cost of living. We can talk about macroeconomic growth, but if people don't see where macroeconomic growth is trickling down and it's tangibly impacting the quality of their lives, they will have questions and skepticism about macroeconomic growth. So I think that bread and butter issues will drive the political platforms for these elections today as well as the election to come next year.
Shante McNeil, CVM News.
And we can now share the results with you. The People's National Party achieved a significant victory in the by-elections held in Morant Bay and Annan Town. This outcome is crucial for the PNP as it aims to strengthen its position within local governance amidst a highly competitive political environment. The results reflect not only the party's resilience but also its ability to connect with voters on key issues. In Annan Town, Delroy Dawkins of the PNP garnered 1,646 votes, narrowly defeating his opponent Suzette Barton from the Jamaica Labour Party. JLP, who received 1,592 votes. Similarly, in Morant Bay, Rosemary Shaw represented the PNP and secured a total of 2,096 votes. Her closest rival, Winston Downey from the JLP, followed closely behind with 1,978 votes. While the Jamaica Labour Party remained optimistic about its position as government, maintaining certainty about Friday's by-elections, while some commentators focused on macroeconomic issues affecting voters in the upcoming elections, the party kept high spirits, trusting its democratic performance review process. Courtney Lewis tells us more.
Confident of victory in today's by-elections, prior to the counting of the ballot, the Jamaica Labour Party top brass also expressed assurance of success during the upcoming general elections. Speaking at a media briefing on Thursday, the party's deputy leader and general secretary shared why they believe the JLP is best suited to maintain its hold on leadership.
That the strength of the party in terms of its work on the ground is at a very high level.
There is no doubt that the Labour Party will have retained the members of Parliament, but I think it's good to take a look at it because the activities of the opposition in those years reflects their tendency to look for cheap shots and gimmickry to attract the attention of people.
Dr. Chang alluded to the PNP's decision not to contest at the parliamentary level in Friday's by-elections as a poor reflection on its maturity within the democracy.
None of the two main political parties should take any action that could undermine the strength of our democracy. And their gimmickry in the two constituencies, I think, can do damage to a democratic process.
Meanwhile, political commentators say no seat is ever truly safe, as different factors may drive voter behavior.
It's the extent to which, voters feel that the issues that directly impact the quality of their lives are being addressed by the political party, the ruling party, and the extent to which the opposition party has shown a willingness or a plan of action to address those issues that directly impact the quality of life. People are thinking about.
I know that there has been a surge in anti-government media for the Jamaican populace. I am wondering, and I've been thinking about it. There's no empirical study to show, but I'm wondering if it will have some impact going forward, and will we.
But ahead of its 81st annual conference this Sunday, November 24, the ruling party remains satisfied that its process of internal review will assure a positive performance at the polls.
Energy is high among the Labour Party supporters who are coming to appreciate the effort of the leadership of the government. We have not indulged in the polling game, but we have in fact monitored our constituency. We have audited many of them and provided them with a work program to ensure that they will take the organizational aspect of the party to the required level. We will not move into the new year, the new political year, with any weaknesses anywhere.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
And we'll continue right after this.
Conditions apply! Let's take a trip to the future. Join the JPS Foundation at the Climate Action Conference and Expo on November 30 at the Chinese Benevolent Association, hosted by CJ Sparks and Paula Ann Porter-Jones. Explore Sustainability City, meet our Power Up Energy Club Innovation Challenge finalists, and check out career options at the Career Corner. Test drive electric cars and dive into cutting-edge tech. Plus, our immersive teaching tunnel will show you how you can take action for a sustainable future. Follow us on IG and Facebook at JPS Foundation to learn more. Drop a bag at Quartz early this weekend and get things at Quartz Black Friday. This Friday, November 22, first 5 customers who spend 65 grand and more get one free 32-inch MasterTech TV. Saturday, November 23, first 10 customers who spend 30 grand and more get one free MasterTech air fryer. Sunday, November 24, first 20 customers who spend 15 grand and more get one free KFC big deal voucher. Come drop a bag at Quartz early this weekend at Quartz Black Friday and get things. Conditions apply. This is a public service announcement. Yo, 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 JPS have something for light up your Christmas. 101 lucky customers are gonna get real happy with them light bill paid this Christmas. That's over $2 million in light. Use the My JPS app to view your bill, set your budget, and track your usage, and you could win. Download and start using the My JPS app today. JPS, pouring what matters this Christmas. Promotion in December 27th. Condition.
Welcome back. Some other news now. The Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, JASL, launched the 10th staging of its initiative focusing on improving legal services for individuals living with HIV, supported by a grant from the European Union, emphasizing the organization's commitment to enhancing access to justice. More from Shantae McNeil.
The Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, JASL, recently launched its 10th staging at the Pegasus Hotel. The initiative, geared towards improving the quality of life for individuals living with the virus, have partnered with the European Union, who provided a grant that will be put towards improving legal services in the organization. Executive Director for JASL says the organization has invested in training paralegals.
Or gay friends, or sex workers, or young people, or women who are experiencing gender-based violence. This project will also give them direct access to legal services. when we identify issues of stigma and discrimination, or just issues where there is need to access legal support, then those would be filtered to our legal officer over there.
Just this year, changes were made to fees attached to protection orders, which once mandated that individuals who violated them would have to pay $10,000. This has, however, increased to $1 million, a step forward in the justice system to aid in protecting vulnerable individuals. A representative from the European Union explained the importance of the partnership.
The EU continues to provide funding in almost every country of the world to facilitate human beings to enjoy the rights that we have earned by simply being born, by simply being present. And that is why the EU continues to support human rights, even in the countries that has no other funding for no other action. Human rights continues to be supported.
JASL will be hosting a march against gender-based violence on Monday, November 25. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
There's no mistaking the Jamaican colors wherever you go. So imagine spotting a flag, smoke, and a jerk pan outside a restaurant along a busy street in Florida. Well, the rest will make you salivate and want to visit too.
Proud moment right there for you, right?
Yeah.
You carry the flag wherever you go.
You know that.
So tell me, how did Mr. Mac end up at this spot?
Well, Mr. Mac started about 12 years ago. Started selling food at a nightclub. And then after that, we branched out into a food truck. That would make us the first Jamaican food truck in Palm Beach County. We're at a location for about 5 years, and then we gradually grow into this building here that we purchased 6 years ago.
So I see the jerk chicken. That caught my attention.
Right.
What's authentic about it? Tell me, say not just some American seasoning you get and thing.
No, we know we make our own charcoal here. And my thought of jerk is cooked on open fire, not supposed to be spicy. Some people think the jerk should be spicy, but in America we can't make it too spicy because we catering for more than one culture. So we have a mild jerk and we have a spicy jerk. So we cook it on open fire, so that's what I call authentic Jamaican jerk chicken. It's cooked on open fire with charcoal.
I see the coconut water too, and you would go and grab your coconut from the truck.
Yes, so we make our own coconut water here on a daily basis. So that's a big seller here. So we end up having to buy a farm. So we plant our own coconut trees. So we have somebody go there and reap the coconuts every day, and then they bring them here to us, and then we just reap and we bottle them and sell them fresh.
Why have you decided to keep the Jamaican vibes and flag going on?
Because I started out from Jamaica. I'm from Westmoreland Negro. I used to work at Couples Negro. So that's where I started my culinary career. So I just brought it over here, and I see that the community was in need of a good authentic jerk spot, but there was none here, so that's why I decided to go that route.
And you have employed people, no doubt?
Yes, we have a lot of employees. I have at least 7 employees. It's a family business.
And that includes who and who?
My mother, my father, and me.
So, well, I guess a lot of young men getting into cooking now, but how did you get involved?
It was always a passion, for me, of cooking. Our grandmother teach us how to cook, so it was always a passion.
And the pan made from?
It made from a drum, the same drum that they use. We call them the tank. The gas station. They're breaking down the gas stations, so those are the tanks that's in the gas stations. So after a while, they resell them back. So that's where they make it from.
What's in your seasoning that's special?
It's just a traditional season, the pimento, the Scotch bonnet pepper, farmer-owned Scotch bonnet pepper. We try to do as much thing as natural as possible, so we don't have to go buy from nobody, so we know exactly what the customer is getting. So we have our own Scotch bonnet pepper farm, we have our own coconut farm, and we make our own charcoal. So that's what really sets us apart, because to be consistent with the flavor and the taste.
What's your name?
I'm Craig McKenzie, owner of Mr. Mac Island Grill, West Palm Beach, Florida, 2400 Okeechobee Boulevard.
So it's well done. Well done. Traditional flavors coming to you from South Florida. This is
Curlin Brown reporting.
Stay with us for news from overseas when we return.
The time by KFC is
7:30. Christmas is made of moments. One more moment to capture. One more you can create. One more 6 Love to settle the score. One more sneaky slice. One more family tradition. And one more little addition. Share one more gift with one more smile. Digicel, better connected this Christmas.
KFC's popcorn chicken, now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC.
We welcome you back with regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. A jury has awarded the family of Botham Jean close to $100 million in a federal civil trial against former Dallas police officer Amber Guire, who is serving a prison sentence for his murder. More from HTS News Force.
In a stunning legal victory, a federal jury has awarded the family of Botham Jean nearly $100 million in damages after a wrongful death lawsuit against Amber Geiger, the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed Jean in 2018. The verdict, delivered on November 20th, 2024, includes $60 million in punitive damages, signaling a sharp condemnation of Geiger's actions. In a phone interview, Alison Jean, Botham Jean's mother, expressed relief over the verdict, calling it a significant step toward justice for her family.
Because after 6 years of going through one legal battle after the next, it really demonstrated that the amount of both compensatory and punitive damages that were awarded by the jury of US $98.65 million to the estate of Botham Jean showed that his life mattered.
Geiger, who was convicted of murder in Jean's death, did not attend the trial or present a defense.
Barbados is set to benefit substantially from its participation in WorldSkills Lyon 2024. The country is being gifted several pieces of equipment that will help in its quest to diversify the economy. We turn to CBC News Barbados for more.
Team Barbados did not receive any medals or medallions for excellence at this year's WorldSkills International competition. But speaking to the competitors, it's easy to see the country's participation in the world's biggest skills competition has not been in vain.
To me, it was incredible because to me, it's not just a competition, it's a learning experience as well. You know, you have people from all over the world who do different things in car business, you know. Car painting, everybody has their own stuff, and learning a bunch of them from all over the world basically was really impressive, really fun. It was awesome.
It puts my name out there to other companies, whether it be locally or internationally. It also shows me the newer technologies that come